All right, so hi, this is Mrs. Robertson, and today we are going to learn how to set up word problems and how to do them correctly and how we are going to get points and things for our problems. So these are notes on word problems. Okay. And as I had just gone over with my class, this sentence would be written as an equation looking like this. 12 less than a number, so n minus 12 is means equals 34. And the than word is tricky. If you see than, whatever in front goes behind, whatever behind goes in front. Now our step, how do you undo subtracting 12? Add 12, add 12. So you would get a point for the equation, a point for showing adding 12 to both sides. Put your equal sign down. N, that cancels, n equals 46. Then you get a point for your check step. When there's a line, does 46 minus 12 equal 34? Yes, it does. Okay? Now let's go on to problem number 2. A number divided by 6 is -5. This is how you're going to write it in algebra. As a fraction, n divided by 6 equals -5. Write it like this. Don't put n divided by 6. We're writing it like an algebra student. Now, your step, you can show your step up here. To undo dividing by 6, you're going to multiply both sides by 6. All right? So my step here, I'm just going to show that I did my step right there. Okay, so that'll count. You have your equation, your step, now your answer. That cancels. N equals -30. Check step. Is -30 divided by 6 equal to -5? Yes, it does. So do you see how this problem is worth 4 points? All right, let's go on to problem number 3. Sum means to add. The sum of a number and -8 is -29. So a number is n, you could use any variable, plus, because we're summing, -8 equals -29. Okay, what will get rid of a -8? Yes?
A positive 8?
Right, we're just going to add a positive 8. When you subtract a -8, kids, it's the same thing as adding a positive 8. So just say to yourself, what will get rid of adding a -8? Adding an 8 will make it disappear. N equals -29 plus an 8 will give you -21. Now let's see if this is true for our check step. Does -21 plus a -8 equal a -29? Yes, it does.
Wait, no, it doesn't. It's no.
Yes, it does. -21 plus -8 is -29.
They're both the same.
Yeah, but we're adding. You're thinking of multiplying. When you add, and when the signs are alike, you add and keep the sign. When the signs are different and you're adding, you subtract to keep the sign of the largest absolute value. Now, let's go on. I will tell you the check step is really important with the integers. That way you catch your mistakes if you make one. The product. Product means we're going to multiply. A 4 and a number is -56. In algebra, you're just going to put 4 next to the variable. That means it's multiplying. Okay? So write down 4n. That says 4 times n is means equals -56. What's our step? What will undo multiplying for? Dividing. And in algebra, you show dividing with a bar. Don't put in a division symbol. you do it with the bar. Divide by 4, divide by 4. Cancel. N equals negative 14. Let's check that. Does 4 times negative 14 equal negative 56? Positive times negative is negative? Yes, it does. And after I do that, I circle my answer in the middle, just knowing it's like, yes, I know that is right. Any questions? Am I going too fast? Okay, let's go on to number 5. The equation, negative 9 times a number is means equals negative 27. What will undo multiplying by a negative 9? Dividing by a negative 9. Negative divided by negative is a positive n equals negative divided by negative is a positive 3. Now, does negative 9 times a positive 3 equal a negative 27? Yes, it does. Then circle your answer because you know that is right. Any questions? Number 6. A number decreased. That means you're going to subtract. So n decreased by 9 is means equals negative 4. Now, what's the opposite of subtracting 9? Adding 9. So to get rid of a minus 9, you add a 9. N equals negative 4 plus a positive 9 is a positive 5. Now, is 5 minus 9 equal to negative 4? Well, when you subtract, you add the opposite. 5 plus negative 9 is negative 4. And circle it. Any questions? Okay, now let's go on and do problem number 7. The 3 angles of a triangle have equal measures and the total for all 3 is 180 degrees. What is the measure of each angle? Okay, they have equal measures, so they're all the same. How many of them are there? 3. So my equation is 3. I'm going to use A for angles. 3 times A equals what? 180. What's after the word is 180? Now, what's the step?
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3. Divide by 3. A equals 60. So, does 3 times 60 equal 180? Yes, it does. So it's 60 degrees because it's what is the measure. So put a little degree sign so we labeled it. All right? Any questions on how to do this? Okay, on the back, there are more word problems. There are 1, 2, 3. There are 4 word problems that I would like for you to work on carefully. Okay? Now, before you can go ahead and look at problem number 8. I have some problems we want to work on first, just to build our confidence on those problems. So I'm going to give you another worksheet. And let me pause this. Okay, so on our worksheet here, number 1, you should have m equals 7. Number 2, 3 equals x. And now we're going to do number 4 to undo subtracting 3 and 7/10. We add 3 and 7/10. Cancels.
But we didn't even do 3.
You'll do that one by yourself. I'm just doing one of each to make sure you know how to do them. 13, carry a 1, 8 and 33 hundredths. Well, 8 and 33 hundredths minus 3 and 7/10 equal 4 and 63 hundredths. Yes, it does. Now let's just skip on down to number 13. Okay, How am I going to get rid of multiplying by a 5/8? That's in front of your variable. What will make 5/8 disappear? Divide by 5/8, which means you multiply by its reciprocal. We are going to multiply both sides times 8 over 5. And you put 1 under the 45. Okay, this is what you were doing yesterday. That cancels out. N equals, simplify before you multiply. 5 divides 5, and 5 divides 45. 9 times 8 is 72 over 1, which means N equals 72. Does 5/8 times 72 equal 45? Well, 8 goes into 8 once, 8 goes into 72 9 times, 5 times 9 is 45. Yes, it does. Any questions on how to do this worksheet? Okay, on the back of the worksheet, these are similar to this. These are similar to the problems that you were doing on the worksheet. So, what do I want you to do for classwork, homework? Listen carefully. On this page, I want you to do, let's just do the evens. Do the evens on this page. It's the extra practice. On the back, I want you to do all. On this side, do all the problems. Okay, all, 1 to 21. All right, and then this page, there are 4 problems that I want you to try to do. And it looks like we have about 30, this class is over at 12 o'clock. We have 35 minutes. I think that's time for you to get all of these problems finished. You should have very little homework. That's about 1 minute per problem, and it doesn't take that long. Okay, any questions? Yes?
So on the fourth row down on the back of the interior rest of numbers,
This one?
how would you do that with the variable inside the front?
Number 10?
Yeah, so on the...
Okay, in number 10, we are going to multiply both sides by 4/3.
Oh, wait, that's not the 10.
Oh, okay.
It's on the other side.
Well, let me finish this one, since once I get going. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 twice, and t equals 2/3. Okay? Which problem is it?
It's on the other side.
On this side, which number?
10.
Number 10 on this side. Okay. Here, this says k divided by -5. You multiply both sides by a -5. That's a good question. Cancel, and you'll have k equals a positive, because negative times negative is positive. 5 times 4 is 20. It's a 70. Now, is 70 divided by -5 a -14? Yes, it is.
Yeah, I read it in the fraction.
That's okay. We're not used to seeing them that way. All right. We'll go over these. Maybe we'll have time to grade this at the end of the class period if everyone's finished.